All eyes are back on Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene after the Trump loyalist turned critic spoke out in her first sit-down interview since announcing her resignation from Congress. Here's what she said about her colleagues in the GOP and President Trump.
I think they're terrified to step out of line and get a nasty Truth Social post on them. Yes. I watched many of my colleagues go from making fun of him, making fun of how he talks, making fun of me constantly for supporting him, to when he won the primary in 2024, they all started, excuse my language, Leslie, kissing his ass and decided to put on a MAGA hat for the first time.
Well, President Trump on Truth Social this morning said the Congresswoman is, quote, not America first or MAGA, and, quote, her new views are those of a very dumb person. So let's go live now to CNN's Arlette Saenz on Capitol Hill. Arlette, what else did the Congresswoman say?
Well, Pamela, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is not holding back in talking about criticism of President Donald Trump and her fractured relationship. It really is a remarkable turn of events when you think about how Taylor Greene was one of the president's most ardent supporters up here on Capitol Hill. But slowly there has been a dissolving and fractured relationship between the president and the Georgia Congresswoman. One thing she also spoke about in this interview on 60 Minutes was the president's frustration with her for being one of 4 Republicans to sign on to a discharge petition which forced a vote on the House floor to release the Jeffrey Epstein files in full. And she talked about in this interview her conversation with President Donald Trump on that issue. Take a listen.
We did talk about the Epstein files, and he was extremely angry at me that I had signed the discharge petition to release the files. I fully believe that those women deserve everything they're asking. They're asking for all of it to come out. They deserve it. And he was furious with me.
What did he say?
He said that it was going to hurt people.
Now, she has also broken with her party on a host of other issues, including on health care and Speaker Mike Johnson's decision to keep the House out of session throughout the government shutdown. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene surprised many up here on Capitol Hill when she announced she will be resigning from Congress in the coming weeks. And one thing that she said in this interview is that she has no plans to run for political office going forward after leaving Congress after just a few short years.
All right, Arlette Saenz, thank you so much. And we just want to note that Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene will be on the show here in the Situation Room with me and Wolf tomorrow.
Looking forward to that interview tomorrow with her.
Okay, I want to give people some context for kind of a collection of greatest hits, some of the things that Greene has said in the past.
Anybody else?
Should the defense secretary?
What country are you? Wait, what country are you from?
The UK.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and your reporting.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
A little communist from New York City. That's right. Yeah, lock her up too. That's a good idea. She better show up. If she chickens out, then she shows exactly who she really is, a scared little girl that is pretty stupid and doesn't know anything.
So what's the gossip in lawmakers' circle about this rebrand?
Well, I'm really going to miss serving with Representative Taylor Greene. Look, I think she's actually right. Our politics are toxic here in D.C., and I think that we have to do something about acknowledging that it is what it is, that we're the ones that created it, and that we're the only ones who can change it. So I actually think that we have a responsibility, and I think in the minority of the conversation on the Hill with my colleagues on this. I think we have to accept Marjorie at her word and say, I hope that you've come to this place where you think that you've contributed and you think it's wrong. But I also believe like your actions have to follow your words now. Don't just say it and then be confrontational in an interview about it. Show me with your actions, both the rest of your time in Congress and then outside of Congress.
I was struck by she was pushing back a little bit on the rebrand there. I mean, trying to deflect with Leslie Stahl. The reality is, I was in her district a couple weeks ago talking to people. She's still figuring it out. So I think this whole idea of a rebrand, I think we're probably just going to have to wait and see what's next. She definitely wants to be part of the the, pretty small, she said she's not MAGA, she's America First. I thought that was also interesting at the very end of that. But look, I mean, we could fill the whole hour with things that she has said in her very brief time in Congress.
I'm not going to do that, just so you know. I will not do that. It's Monday.
But the reality is, I think her rebrand is still kind of a work in progress.
Yeah, and also we may be making it into some sort of 4D media chess when really maybe she just got exhausted, got scared from the attack from the president. It could be a number of things.
Yeah, I think she just wants to, she claims that she wants to bring more decorum to this office, be less partisan, be less critical. But then when you see, to your point, an interview like that, it comes to show that it's convenient to say that you want to be that thing, but when your back is pushed against a wall, she still gets extraordinarily defensive. I honestly think she just needs a little media training work. If you want to come out and be that bigger person, you got to figure out how to not get defensive in an interview about it and deliver a really strong answer that makes me believe that you're the person that you say you want to become.
So I want to ask you, we are hearing from Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of your former colleagues, who has now is leaving Congress. She says her Republican colleagues are terrified to step out of line with President Trump. She was in a new 60 Minutes interview. I want to play the clip because I just want to hear what you think about what she's saying. This is what she told 60 Minutes.
Behind the scenes, do they talk differently?
Yes.
How?
Oh, it would shock people.
Well, let's shock people.
Okay. I watched many of my colleagues go from making fun of him, making fun of how he talks, making fun of me constantly for supporting him, to when he won the primary in 2024, they all started, excuse my language, Leslie, kissing his ass and decided to put on a MAGA hat for the first time.
So, look, you have been a Republican in Congress. Was this your experience as well, the idea of what's happening behind the scenes and what's happening in front of the cameras and what Republicans have to balance between coming out against President Trump but also knowing that maybe they don't agree with him or that it's not good for their district?
Yeah, I mean, look, honestly, these members of Congress, and I'm not saying this is a cheap shot, I've just lived it. They're not doing their job. Your job, according to the Constitution, is to represent the best interest of the 700,000 people for a member of the House. They do. But there was a congressman in the south part of Houston. He just announced he wasn't running again. His name slips my mind. But he, at one point at the beginning of this term, said, "My job is to do exactly what Donald Trump tells us. If he says jump, we say how high." That's the mentality. So Congress is basically, look, the Constitution, the founders of this country knew that a guy like Donald Trump would come along. They knew it. What they never expected was a Congress that would willingly give up its power like it has. So what Marjorie Taylor Greene's saying is right. Behind the scenes, they're scared to death. If they trust you, they'll tell you, like, this is awful, but they absolutely will not come out against him. Even when they're not running again, Jessica, they don't come out against him because they don't want to hurt their ability to make money with the contacts they have after their time in Congress. That's why people that aren't running again stay quiet as well.